It's day 6 of U.S. Olympic track and field trials here at Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon. It's a beautiful day, but it is warm. It is creeping towards 90 degrees and some decent humidity as well. And there will be some athletes having their positions confirmed to Tokyo today. Noah Lyles, he's first up in his 200-meter heat. The world champion looking to keep the winning ways going. The road to Tokyo continues here at this brand new $200+ million venue that has seen some wonderful feats already. And look at the day, look at the menu we've got for you today at just what's coming up in the field and on the track. So much happening over the next 3 hours live here on NBCSN. And we're not going to mess about. We're going to get straight to the action for you with the first heat of the men's 200 meters. And we've got the whole family here. Lewis Johnson is chatting with the athletes on the field. Paul Swangart's handling field. Sonia Richards-Ross, Addo Bolden, Kara Goucher, and myself, Lee Diffie, bringing you the action. And let's get it going with the world champion, Noah Lyles.
The 4th fastest man ever at the distance, but his 100-meter attempt did not go well. He was only 7th in that final last Sunday. So this is his only chance to make an individual team to Tokyo.
Noah is up against Rodney Rowe, Arian Knighton. We will talk more about him. Gavin Shaw, Marcus Parker, and Fred Curley, who's already qualified for the team in the 100 meters. There is Fred.
That's right, Lee. He was expected to start here at 400 meters. He's number 6 on the all-time list, Otto, at 43 seconds, but decided to run the 100 meters here. And maybe to our surprise, but not his or his coach, he ran 9:86 and finished 3rd. Fred Curley is already on the Olympic team at 100 meters, so it should be no surprise what he does here in the men's 200.
And he figures to be this man's chief opposition. I can tell you, Fred Curley, no pressure. I'm already on the flight to Tokyo. This is just bonus. I'm playing with house money.
Fred Curley is in blue in 8. Then Noah Lyles right alongside. Keep an eye on those bright yellow shoes of the 17-year-old from Florida, Arian Knighton.
And Knighton will come off the turn with a lead. Fred Curley way back off the pace, but now here he comes. Look at the high schooler looking around, controlling this heat. So Arian Knighton turned pro, and that's the only reason why that is not a high school record, breaking none other than Noah Lyles' high school record. 20:04 by a 17-year-old. He broke Usain Bolt's under 18 world record earlier this year. So there's Knighton, there's Lyles. A little surprised to see the high schooler controlling this heat.
Surprise for me too. We knew that he had excellent chops and would be able to definitely make it through this round easily. But look at this. Looks like Usain Bolt when he used to run in the first rounds. Like, where's everybody at? Okay, well, if you guys are gonna let me take it, I'm happy to do that and easy into the semifinal.
And we remember 5 years ago, it was Noah Lyles and Mike Norman, the high schoolers, that were looking around at the seniors and thinking, hey, where are you guys? This guy Knighton is going to play a factor in these 200-meter rounds.
And he ran in an international meet against Great Britain's Zarnell Hughes, Adam Jamili recently, and was able to handle them no problem either. Lewis Johnson, that was quite the run from the teenager.
Quite the run from here, and Noah Lyles with the big Q as well. You automatically qualified on through. So you've already run the 100. Just give us a sense of what you've been doing since we've seen you and now being back on the track.
Yeah, since after the 100, I've really just been getting ready. I've been with my massage therapist, my chiropractor, eating some, healthy food to get me back in that action, make sure that when I come back on here, I'm recovered and ready to go.
Yeah, being considered one of the best in the world is great, but also having competition is great as well. When you look at Arian and others, what's your mindset in trying to deal with this competition to make sure you make this team in an individual event?
Me and my coach, we haven't done so much in the 200 this year, but to be honest, it's kind of speaking for itself in practice. Anytime that I go out there, my turn is faster than it's ever been. The times that come up, I'm really pleased with. So I'm not too worried. I'm just taking it round by round, and I'm just going to make it faster and faster.
All right, Noah, thanks.
Thank you.
And you could see Noah Lyles just ease up towards the end of that opening heat of the men's 200. That will be our last event on this program tonight, live here on NBCSN. We're going to continue with the men's 200 meters and the second heat ready to roll. So there's 4 heats in total, and the top in each heat, and then the next 4 fastest overall go to the semis. Here is Isaiah Young in lane 5.
Now 31 years old, hoping to make his second Olympic team after 9 years. He competed in 2012. He's been on a couple world championship teams, but really hasn't shown the kind of form that he's had in the past. Doesn't even have the Olympic standard yet, Otto. So he'll really need to show up here to have a chance at making this team.
Here's Bednarek in lane 8. He already tried his hand at the 100, finishing 4th. That means he may have a spot on the 4x1. He'll certainly be in the relay pool, but this is his better event, and he's the second fastest in the world so far this year.
Noah Lyles' younger brother, Josephus, is in lane 7. There he is.
Often mistaken for twins. They're a year apart. Come from a family of runners. His mom and dad both competed at Seton Hall. And their mom, Keisha Kane Bishop, actually manages both the boys. I can imagine what it's like for her in the stands every year watching both of them compete.
Isaiah Young in the middle of your screen in 5. There he is. Keep an eye on him.
Bednarek second from the outside, always conservative in the turn, but he has a great finish, and he has a little bit of work to do now.
Josephus Lyles is coming on strong. Here comes Kenny Bednarek in that headband. Bednarek and Young. Kenny Bednarek will go through. Isaiah Young, 20.20. And Josephus Lyles also goes through to the semifinals.
Big season's best for Isaiah Young, which is what he needed to be able to really progress through these rounds. And he looked strong, but I really liked the way Bednarek ran that round. He was very conservative on the turn, much like Fred Curley, but didn't give up too much and looked to be really in control of the final 100 meters. And you want to conserve as much energy as possible because the rounds only get tougher and tougher.
Yep, you see Bednarek content to let somebody else, and in this case, Young, lead off the turn. And then, as Sonia said, that's somebody who is way off the gas and just doing as much as he has to safely be in the top 3. The top 3 qualify automatically. He's done that. And we love the fact that he wears that headband, makes him easy to spot. Kung Fu Kenny.
Kung Fu Kenny, he likes to have some fun with that. The Q on the graphic there designates that they're off to the semifinals. By the way, Isaiah Young did meet the Olympic standard, which is good news for him. The Olympic standard is 20.24, and the top 2 athletes in that. As we welcome you back to Hayward Field, we continue our coverage of men's 200-meter heats. 2 down and 2 to go. And you need to be in the top 3 if you want to guarantee your spot automatically into the semi-finals. Let's talk about who's in lane 5. It's the 22-year-old from Pennsylvania, Terrance Laird.
Just coming off his senior season at LSU. And what a season it was. He was NCAA champion at 100 and second in the 200, but opted to not run the 100 here to focus on the 200. His coach says he's really special. He tells me that he focuses on the 3 H's, being humble, hungry, and healthy. And he feels like that's what has allowed him to be successful.
And then to the outside is a high schooler, just 17 years of age, Jalen Slade from the IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. Now, because he did not turn pro, unlike Knighton, who we saw run 20.04 to win the heat prior, he has a shot at Noah Lyles' 20.0 high school record. He's already broken Noah's indoor high school record with 20.262, excuse me.
So Harris in 3, Flournoy in 4, Booker and Miller. The 7th lane is open. Cravon Gillespie was a late scratching.
So I've been watching Laird for the entire season. Watched him win the NCAA's indoor, and then watched him watched him pull a surprise win in the 100. This is his better event, and as you said, Sonia, smart.
Yeah.
Staying out of the 100 here and focusing on the 200. He's going to have his hands full with this high schooler, Lyles Laird. The way Laird runs, very, very conservative on the turn, and he runs the final 100 as good as anybody else in the country. Slade will run a little bit more evenly.
Slade all in blue right there, center of your screen. Terrance Laird on the inside of him.
Look on the outside. That's Booker, second from the outside, who's run the best turn. He'll come off with a lead, but watch what Laird will do now.
Terrance Laird, center of your screen, all in black. He's going with Jordan Booker. Booker's close, and Jalen Slade has been left behind. It is Terrance Laird in a 20:45 for his heat to automatically qualify for the semis.
And that was a dramatic look over to see that he was cleared and that he was able to back off a bit. But Terrance Laird, a true talent, someone to watch out for as he progresses through these rounds. I actually thought he would be a baseball player. Said his best friend went to the Dodgers in 2016, and it wasn't until 2017 that he actually ran his first track and field race and fell in love with the sport. What he thinks has really helped him was when he first went to Penn State, he ran a lot of 400s and 500s, and then went to a JUCO where he ran 19.6 windy, and at LSU been doing a lot of sprint work. So he feels like that combination of the 400 training and now the sprinting has made the 200 his perfect event. And he looked comfortable in the first round. He has a lot of races in his legs, Otto, from the NCAAs. He ran the 100, 200, and the 4x1. So I think it was really smart for him to just focus here on the 200, rest his legs up, and just continue to compete well. He knows how to do that, and he'll need all of that to make this team.
Very surprised that the high schooler did not perform better, but you know, inexperience on a big stage sometimes can cause that.
And on a positive, Jordan Booker not only automatically qualifies, but that is Booker's personal best at a 20:49 over Flournoy in third. So they're the three automatic qualifiers coming out of Heat 3 in the men's 200. One more heat to come to see who makes the semi-finals. It's a warm day, beautiful day though here in the Pacific Northwest for day 6 of competition, and we are set for the fourth and final heat of the men's 200 meters. Top 3 automatically go through, and then the next 4 fastest overall times. Semi-final is tomorrow. LaShawn Merritt,
Olympic champ at 400 meters, turns 35 on Sunday, made it here at 400 meters, and says he's here and just wants to keep on giving his best effort. So we'll see what he has in the tank at 200 meters.
We've seen something special from another 35-year-old, right, in Allison Felix.
That's right.
These trials. Who knows?
And this is Matthew Bolin. So I lived in Texas when in 2019 he ran a windy 10:20 at the Texas Relays, and everybody's calling me like, is Usain Bolt in trouble? I'm like, not yet, guys. But he definitely has a ton of potential and has been running really well for Georgia.
Lance Lang, unfortunately, did not make it to this heat, so that's why there is an open lane 5. But Kyrie King is inside LaShawn Merritt, right there in lane 3. Andrew Hudson is in 6. And Collins in 8. And then there's EJ, Edric Florial Jr.
He's the coach's son. In fact, his father's already put Kenny Harrison and Jenna Prandini onto the Olympic team, but he was a reluctant. Our son finally came home to track and field. His mother is a silver medalist from the '92 Olympic Games, and his father competed for Canada in the '88 and '92 Olympics and is now one of the top coaches in the world, including the director of track and field at the University of Texas.
Did you say walk on at Kentucky?
Walked on at Kentucky. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Here's Matthew Bowling.
Also ran a windy 9.9 in high school. That's what really got him to go viral. He can do the 1, the 2, the 4, and the long jump. This is LaShawn Merritt in 4.
So So Floreal out wide, all in green. Bowling in black there in the University of Georgia colours, and LaShawn Merritt second from the right.
There's a lot of races in Matthew Bowling's legs, and he's already pressing hard. You see Hudson to the inside, and on the far inside, that's Kyrie King for a second, but now Hudson.
Hudson looks around. LaShawn Merritt makes it. He's going to the semi-finals, but it's Hudson with the win over Bowling in a 20-40 for Andrew Hudson, the 24-year-old from Texas.
And Andrew Hudson ran the best turn by far. He's a 2019 Big 12 champion for Texas Tech. Really close to sub-20 for a personal best.
LaShawn Merritt was in such a hurry to get off the track. He almost ran right over Hudson. So there's Hudson, identified there in the middle of the track. Ran a good turn. You see Kyrie King on the far inside trying to come up, but that challenge wouldn't last long, and Hudson starts to back off, looks around at Bowling and company. Look at LaShawn Merritt come up just at the very end. But I want you to keep watching, because you'll see LaShawn Merritt almost run right into, oh, look, watch this. Uh-oh. I'm trying to get out of here.
That reminds me of the Golden Games at Mount Sac when DK Metcalf ran into the
Except
inside.
he almost knocked that guy in the next week. He's a much bigger body.
So well done to Andrew Hudson. He goes through, so too does Matthew Bowling and LaShawn Merritt. And I can tell you that Kyrie King, although Kyrie got fourth with that 20.63, that is good enough to get him through to the semi-finals on Saturday, tomorrow, here at Haywood Field. So here are some of the key qualifiers in the men's 200. World champion Noah Lyles, of course, has made it. But it was a nice run too from Fred Curley, Terrance Laird, Arian Knighton, some of the young